Hey everyone, what's going on? For those of you who are new to our channel, my name is Lisa. My husband Charlie and I are homesteaders and we follow a Mediterranean diet. So today I am going to show you how to make 3 different kinds of whole grain and gluten-free muffins. They're gonna have some oats in them for the good, healthy whole grain, and then I'm gonna use almond flour to make them gluten-free. And I'm going to batch cook these muffins to then put in the freezer. They are so nice to be able to pull out of the freezer for really easy breakfast. And I even like them as a quick snack or as a dessert. I love to have muffins with coffee in the morning or with some Greek yogurt as a delicious, easy dessert. So we're gonna make 3 different kinds of muffins today. We are going to make a strawberries and cream muffin, which I've never done before. So this is a new muffin to me. I'm just kind of throwing it together. We are going to make a banana nut muffin, and we are gonna make a white chocolate peanut butter pumpkin muffin because I am so ready for fall. I don't know about you. The recipe for the white chocolate peanut butter pumpkin muffins is already up on my blog. This strawberries and cream one, if it turns out well, I'll put it up on the blog, but you're gonna be learning how to make this right along with me. I just had some fresh strawberries and I was inspired by them and I just thought this would turn out delicious. Now the awesome thing about muffins is they are so very versatile. So even if you are a beginner in the kitchen, they're just a really easy thing to put together. They're very, very forgiving. If you would like to use whole wheat flour, you can use whole wheat flour. If you would like to use a plant-based milk in place of a cow milk, you can use a plant-based milk. I've used cashew milk many, many times, and these recipes still turn out just fine. Get in the kitchen, have fun, play around with it. Another thing with my muffins, I don't add white sugar to my muffins. I don't add brown sugar to my muffins. I do sometimes add date sugar, but mostly I use either maple syrup, honey, or fresh fruit to sweeten my muffins, which keeps them really, really good and healthy. So I'm gonna attempt to make these recipes just using 2 bowls. I'm gonna use 1 big bowl to mix up the base of my ingredients, and that's the base of all my muffins. And then I'm going to use a second bowl to make the different kinds. So the first thing that I need to do is to get my ingredients out and get a couple things prepped ahead of time. So I've got 1 cup of strawberries prepped for the strawberry cream muffins. Having all my ingredients ready really helps streamline this process. So the other thing I've got is 2 ripe bananas, might use a 3rd. You just want to take the bananas and mash them up with a fork. I also have about a half of a cup of chopped pecans here for our banana nut muffins. And then I've got a can of organic pumpkin. I've got this giant glass bowl here, and this is what I'm gonna use to make up the base for my muffins. I'm gonna start with using 3 cups of oats, and if you see my Costco shopping videos, you know I love this Farmers in the Know brand that I get at Costco. And to that, I'm gonna add in 3 cups of almond flour. Now, you might be wondering if you can use whole wheat flour in place of this almond flour, and you absolutely can. But I want these to be gluten-free, so that is why I'm using almond flour. 3 teaspoons of baking powder and 3 teaspoons of baking soda. Adding in a little salt. Each recipe, I say a pinch of salt. So because I'm making this a triple batch, I'm just adding a little bit of salt. I'm kind of eyeballing it. Those are my base dry ingredients for these muffins. So I'm gonna give that a nice mix and just make sure I get everything nicely incorporated. So that was the baking powder, the baking soda, a little bit of salt, the oats, and the almond flour. Oven temp 375. Okay, so now to make these muffins, I'm going to take, I've got my separate bowl here. I'm gonna take 2 cups of this muffin mix that I made. We've got 6 cups in there altogether, so each recipe is gonna get 2 cups. And we're gonna do the strawberries and cream first. I've got my raw milk here. So I'm gonna add in my cup of raw milk. And I'm adding in that cup of strawberries that I chopped up. For the sweetener for this batch, I am going to do a half a cup of date sugar because I feel like I'm going to have a lot of liquid between the strawberries and the milk. So I don't want to do maple syrup or honey. I want to do a dry sweetener. So that is a half a cup of date sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, nice sprinkle of cinnamon. And we're just going to get that nice and mixed up. You guys could have said something. I almost forgot my eggs. I always find myself skipping the part of beating an egg before I add it to a recipe. I just stir it in. What do you do? I'm deciding to add a little drizzle of maple syrup. My son really likes sweet muffins. I like mine not so sweet, but I just think these are just gonna need a little bit more sweetness. So I added a nice drizzle of maple syrup. I like to use these silicone muffin tins, and I'm using this olive oil spray that I got at Trader Joe's. So I'm just going to spray these so they don't stick. Here's a little trick with muffins if you might not know this. You can get bigger muffins if you fill every other muffin cup. They'll expand more, and you can also put them in a higher heat, like about 25 degrees higher in the oven, and then drop that after about 5 minutes. You'll get more fluffy muffins. I really want to just make little ones, so I'm just going to fill all 12 today. All right, so we got 10 of our muffin cups filled, and into the oven they go. Okay, and now we can start on our second batch. I'm not even gonna rinse out this bowl because it doesn't matter to me if a little bit of strawberry flavor gets in my other muffins. So again, we're gonna take 2 cups. This is what the muffins look like after 5 minutes. So you can see they've already risen quite a bit. So now I'm gonna turn it down to 375. I'm gonna add the bananas to my bowl. I add in my pecans. When I make banana muffins, I usually like to make like a bananas Foster muffin and add rum extract, but I'm out of it, so I'm adding vanilla. So a teaspoon of vanilla extract. All right, you guys, so this is funny. I remembered to add my eggs this time, but look what we've got going on here. We have farm fresh eggs here on our homestead, and we've got a double yolker. What I'm not gonna do for these banana muffins is I'm not gonna add any additional sugar because the 3 bananas are gonna provide more than enough sweetness in this recipe. I'm adding in 1 little cup of unsweetened applesauce. And now we're gonna get this one all mixed up too. Double yolks and all. It's all right, we'll see. I don't know, maybe it'll be a little more custard-like. Now we've got the banana nut muffins ready, the banana and the pecans, and so I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna start the oven at 400, and then I'm gonna drop it down to 375. Here are our banana nut muffins. They got a little bit toasty, but they'll be all right. Now for my favorite ones, white chocolate peanut butter pumpkin muffins. These are so, so good. I love these cans of pumpkin that just have a pop top on them. Nostalgic from my childhood when I used to drink cans of pop. So to our muffin base, we're gonna add in a can of pumpkin, milk, at least a half a cup of peanut butter. If you really love peanut butter, go ahead and add more. I use the peanut butter from Costco. It's just a very clean peanut butter. It's only got peanuts and I believe a little bit of salt in it. Got my eggs added in there, no double yolker this time. Teaspoon of vanilla. And this time, because we are going with a pumpkin muffin, I'm going to do a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice instead of cinnamon. All right, so we're gonna get that mixed up before we fold in our white chocolate chips. Gonna add some a good drizzle of maple syrup here. And I'm gonna add a little bit of date sugar for the rest of the sweetener. I want you to notice that as I added the date sugar, it is just making this a thicker batter. So you really want to pay attention to that when you're making things like muffins, because you don't want the batter to be too wet. You don't want it to be too dry. You just kind of play with it. That's a pretty good consistency right there. But before I added that date sugar, it was a little bit too thin of a batter. So this is a little less than a quarter cup of white chocolate chips. My favorite white chocolate chip brand is Pasha. So I'm just folding that in. Here are all three of our muffins. We've got the strawberries and cream, the banana nut, and the white chocolate peanut butter pumpkin. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the easiest way to get the muffins out of a silicone tray like this. You just push up under the muffin like this and it pops right off. That's definitely the easiest way to do it. Charlie just got in and it's pouring outside because the hurricane's coming through here. So he is going to try my muffins. He's got the banana nut, I think.
It's good.
You like it?
Mm-hmm.
And now I've got all of these muffins to go in the freezer for super easy breakfast, snacks, and desserts. So I hope that this video has inspired you to get in the kitchen and batch cook some muffins. They are so easy to make, they are so delicious, and you will love having them on hand. I would love to know what your favorite kind of muffin is, and I would love to know if you're gonna try one of these 3 muffins that we made today, which one are you gonna try?